Hey guys, finally Sleeps here. Tonight, EA finally released the update that allows premium base players to be used in the SBCs. We knew it was coming, it was just a matter of time, so if you've picked a bunch of those up when they were dirt cheap, because people realized you couldn't do anything with them other than make a fantastic team with great chem, flashy little base cards. The prices were low. They're going to start coming back up, so pay attention if you've got some to sell. But right now, because they are now available and can be used in the SBCs, let's go ahead and claim Sancho and see what happens. Before we start, though, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow along here at YouTube. We're close to hitting 10,000 subscribers, so I appreciate all the help you guys have had trying to get me to push over that mark. Make sure you follow along at Twitch too. The links are down there at the bottom of the screen. And let's get into it. So the first of the last two on the advanced is the one that gave everybody the most problems. And the biggest problem with it was it required 5 base players. And most people went into SBCs without a ton of high-level base players. As we got close to squad building challenges finishing out, I was suggesting that you start buying 85, 86, 87 rated players as cheap as you could. The problem was most of the ones that we all picked up at that time were current. They were Lunar New Year, a lot of EUL cards, stuff like that were cheap. Base cards were a bit sketchy and hard to find. But once they released the premium base cards and people realized that you couldn't use them for anything and they were invisible, the values on those cards plummeted. So you could pick them up for anywhere from 200 to 300k. You could get about anybody. So that's what this squad was made of in the first couple of hours. These are all premium base cards that were picked up, and I've been waiting and sitting on it until EA made this shift. So my idea was to take some of these cards that I don't use that are non-auctionable and use them for these, like Bale from the ZIDANE campaign. Let's see, who else? Sterling from World Tour. Not that I would ever put him in. So once you get your 5 base players, the reason I went with Man City is there's a decent level of base cards for Man City that are high enough OVR that you can offset them with Real Madrid, because Real Madrid has a ton of program players to be able to use throughout. So for me, this was the easiest pace because I had most of these players, other than the 5 base, I had these players in my squad already. The only players I had to buy were the 5 base elites. So right now I have less than 2 million in this squad to be able to swap it out. I'm going to get 2 million coming back in. I'm good to go. Now, just so you know, if I were to sell this stuff now, once EA made the first switch and took the premium cards and allowed them to show up when you went to sell them, their values went way up. So like Modric, who I grabbed for under 300k, he's worth over $1 million right now. I'm pretty sure Aguero's probably sitting around 600,000 to 700,000, if I had to guess. And the same way with Ederson. But all of these were picked up cheap and quick. Remember, when you see those moments where you have a hunch that things are going to shift in a certain way and you see the values are lower than what they should be, that's when you grab cards. Okay, so Man City, Real Madrid, let's go ahead and confirm it. Step 1 to grab Sancho. Still haven't fixed the continue glitch. Okay. Did I get the 2 mil? Yeah, I got the 2 mil. Okay, so let's move on to the last one. Now, this is the other challenge that has given a lot of people a little bit of problems just because you're worried about the amount of money that you have to pay into it. It comes down to it's 6 teams, 5 countries. You can have as many players from any team as you want, as long as you don't hit more than 6 teams. Now, for me, the best way to go with this was to start with the 90 plus players that I had that were part of the investment stuff. So obviously we're going to get rid of a lot of these Lunar New Year players. So we've got Diallo, obviously. Let's see. Let's go with my free UCL player, which sucked because I really wanted Salah in that. I've got Henry from... Let's go. Henry, I don't use icons. I had trained him up when I was working with World Tour. I don't mind getting rid of him. So what are we dealing with? We've got PSG, and Arsenal. I have all these Star Pass players. I do buy the Star Pass every month, and I try to hold on to the Star Pass Masters as long as I can until I can at least get 2 to 3 million out of them. So Lacazette, which I'm glad I held on to. So now we've got 3 French. So France is done. Spain. Can we go Sensi for Italy? Let's go ahead and try it. So now we've got Italy, Spain, and France. Brandt, another one of the players that we picked up as an investment. I don't think I'm going to use any Swiss players. Roma, we've got Italy and Roma, so now Inter. Now, do we have any more Roma? Brazil. Another Arsenal. Okay, so now how many countries are we at? Or we've maxed out our countries. So now we're stuck with Brazil, France, Spain, Italy, and Germany. Let's see. We're checking to see what other Roma players we have. Kluivert, do I have him in? I must have him in a squad. Okay, that helps. Okay, we're getting there. We're real close now. Let's see. So now we've got Kluivert. Too many nations. So what nations? Where are we pushing here? Brazil, Germany, France. Is it Spain? Spain's giving me problems. Wesley's Brazil. And now I'm okay. Now I've got max teams. Nations, players. I don't want to train anybody, but let's see what happens. We've already walked away from Spain. That does it. That gets us there. I just need to train Gotzi. Okay, so 89 to 90 is not going to be tough. That's going to be a quick fix. And I may be able to do it without spending any coins. And these are stuff that's been left over from the Carnival, all of the daily event exchanges. There we go. Okay. Actually, I'm just curious what his actual cost is. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to waste any of these coins that I could use elsewhere. See, 353. There's no sense in using any more than one. I'll spend a little bit of coins. I'm fine with that as long as I can save the rest. There we go. Okay, 122,000 to train him. I mean, plus money I already had in it. Just investment money, though. See if that gets me to Sancho. That does it. There we go. Decent amount of boost. Nice. Now we can put him back where Clover was, and let's see what it does to this actual squad. Back to 119. Sancho, we can train. Let's commit some money to the boost. That gets me back to 120. Okay, so now that's the new squad that we're going to have to give a try. See what it does. Big difference here with some speed on the side compared to Milner that I'm used to over here. Not that I don't... I complain about this card a lot, but I really like it. It's just that 85 pace at left back kills me sometimes. Okay, so there you go. Claim Sancho. Minimal expense if you invested right going into SBCs. And of course, if you're like me and you do grab the Star Pass each month, that's the one thing that I do buy. Not afraid to admit it. The resources that gives you is well worth the expense. If you're going to put any money into this game, don't waste it on FIFA points. But I do feel like the Star Pass is worth the money spent. So, there you go. SBC's done. Oh, that was the one last thing. Before we get off here, let's take a look and see what some of these base cards are actually bringing in right now. The change has only gone out just recently. So Van Dijk's up a couple 100,000. Mane's actually dropped. Alderweireld's down. These were all stuff that I picked up relatively cheap. Okay. We haven't seen an increase in value yet. Son. Vertonghen. We'll have to keep watching it. Oh, Robertson's way up. Okay. So pay attention to those premiums. If you have some to sell, watch the market value in the next day or so as more realize that they can claim Sancho this way by using the premium players. I think the values are going to bump back up a little bit. We should see a swap back to what we were. The value in the regular bases are going to come down, and we're going to see the value of the premiums go up a bit. The one last thing, let's just go ahead and do it. I have been putting it off and putting it off. Let's just go ahead and claim it. I do want that Liverpool icon. All right, that's the way we're going to end it. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me tonight. We finally finished Sancho. We claimed the last 2 SBCs. We talked about premium base players. Those are the big changes. And I think up next we've got a few more events coming. We're still waiting on an Icons SBC. The rumors are there that it should be on its way. It should be coming. Team of the Week will not be here tomorrow, but there is something in its place. I haven't heard yet exactly what we're dealing with. I know EA made a couple announcements, but I missed what they actually were. So make sure you follow along. Check out finallysleeps.com. Join us over on the FUT Mobile Discord server. The links to all that will be in the description. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Help me get over 10,000 subscribers. It's been a while since I've been close to this. Just need a few more hundred to punch it over. It's just because. I don't know why. It's just because. I hate being at 9,000 and something. Let's hit it over 10,000. And follow along over at Twitch, where we stream at least twice a week. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow and consider subscribing at Twitch. That way you get notified whenever we go live to stream FIFA Mobile. Don't miss an episode of the podcast My Wife Hates Video Games for an entertaining look at the world of geek, including movies, books, comics, horror, sci-fi, basically everything my wife hates. The links are all below, as well as social media, merch, and my last live comedy album, Life Before the Internet. Still here? Go ahead and enjoy one of these other videos or subscribe it. YouTube up here. That's it. I've got nothing else.